I've been a voice trainer for the BBC, and now I can share some of my ideas, some of my thoughts, some of my trainings with you on Get a Better Broadcast podcast and Voice Over Voice. Hello, I'm Peter Stewart. Welcome to today's episode of the show. And as I mentioned yesterday, we're starting off going into some detail over the next, probably week or 10 days, maybe a little bit more than that, on the whole area of character work, essentially. Cartoons, animation, and gaming. Not necessarily voiceover, but voice acting. So we'll touch on what the difference is between those as we continue over the next several days. So characters in animations, cartoons, and games. So let's give you a little bit more kind of detail on this. It's when your character you develop a voice for is heard but not seen. For example, I mentioned a few of them there. Cartoons, animations, anime as well, feature films, games. We're also going to put in toys as well, and robotics and puppetry, but also think that cartoons aren't just on the TV or on movies, they're also on websites. They're on e-learning. To explain things, you can very often have an explanation by, I don't know, a talking cartoon bear, for example. Could be in could be in commercials as well, in adverts. So all of these kind of areas where we're talking about different characters that we're coming up with is going to be what we're talking about over the next several weeks. Because previously, up till this point, in all of the other previous episodes of the program, we've been essentially looking at reading straight, haven't we? It's getting your best voice for kind of narration work, for script reading, a straight conversational commercial, for news reading, that kind of thing. But now we're taking what we've learned already and pushing it to a quite a large extent off to the fringes, when we're coming up with different characters, not just your character, but creating different characters. But we've already got the foundation of all of that work that we've done over the last nearly 2 years on how to use the voice. So in this section, I'm not going to be talking, I've just called it voice acting, but I'm not going to be looking at straight voice acting, like in a drama serial, like the BBC's continuing drama or soap opera, The Archers, which is incidentally the world's longest running soap opera. So we're not going to be looking at that kind of straight acting or the increasing number of stories dramatized in podcasts, but concentrating on the more extreme characters in formats like the cartoons and the anime and the robotics and the puppetry and that kind of thing. And there's an increasing number of outlets for character voices in animation and games, but it takes more than, it's more than putting on a funny voice or mimicking someone to be successful in this particular genre. It's because you've really got to work with other elements which are often pre-decided before you've even been cast, let alone had your voice recorded. There's little room for improvisation. You've got to fit your voice with the script, the character of the role that you're given to play, and also that character's interaction with all of the other characters. But first and foremost, you need to find the right sound that embodies the character you've been asked to play, and then act out their story with your disembodied voice. And the first step on that journey is creating a character, or indeed a cast of core characters. And we start that journey tomorrow together. Creating your characters. That's going to be really exciting. So you're given an animated role that you're going to be playing. We talked about it the other day. A bossy bear. A bossy bear. How do you come up with the voice for your bossy bear? Or your know-all owl, or your dragon, or anything else you can think of. A witch, a snob, a down and out, a mum, a reckless student. How do you come up with these voices that isn't just you being human, but you pushing to the extremes for characterization in animations and cartoons? We'll talk about it tomorrow as Get a Better Broadcast, Podcast and Voice Over Voice continues. From London, I'm Peter Stewart.